Welcome back to another reaction for Nippon Sangoku episode 2. Gonna be really interesting how this continues. I totally forgot.
産業革命において日本末期第4次産業革命において外国人
Okay, got defeated.
悪性重罪
Stuff
民衆は
happened. World War III, revolution, everything went down. We have these three kingdoms that are now fighting. Oh.
大和歴57年春東の国武王
Okay. I would need to remember last episode which age or which year we had. But we had a guy who is seemingly very intelligent, who has quite a good overview over stuff. Now, his wife was like, hey, you should maybe join the soldiers as an officer. You would probably do well. You could maybe even unify Japan. She had some very lofty goals. Did not end well, the episode. Now, our guy could have taken revenge at the spot, but he wants something more. He wants more than a little bit of petty revenge. He wants full revenge. So I'm assuming he joined this one guy, this famous guy that we got told about, to be an officer, I guess. So the question is he involved in this one or not? So we have the eastern nation of Bu led over 10,000
1万
soldiers.
余
Okay.
りの兵を率い大和との国境を越え愛知へ侵攻した
And I believe we were in Aichi, right? Have some fly here. God damn it.
窮地に陥った大和軍は首都大阪に援軍を要請する
Okay. Who General of the Western Expedition Hiromasa Shimada. So these are the guys that invaded. That are in a good position, right?
この新東名高速道路に布陣した時点で我が武王軍の勝利は確定
So, again, it is hard for me to understand on which side our guy was or is. Because he was in this guy's territory in Bu, right? If I remember correctly. Maybe. And we had the whole thing happening with this big family who then killed his wife. And he wants to take revenge. Now, if he goes in the same nation and he starts building up and he gets in higher positions where he may be able to take revenge, or is he going to join another nation and is trying to go up their ranks to then punish the whole nation that more or less is responsible for his wife's death? That is a big question for me right now.
わずか8000の大和軍がどうやってこの本陣まで来れるというのさすが島田さんしびれますよーし前祝いだ
Okay.
まついてないわ。こんな負ける
So this is the other side.
とか思わへんやん普通。
The Yamato? Right. So we have Bu, we have Yamato. Now, again, this makes it seem like our guy would be on Yamato's side, on their guy's side. Because this is, from the map, this would be perfect for an encirclement. Supply lines are stretched thin, it's far away from the mainland. So if they can encircle these soldiers, they have like 10,000 soldiers as prisoners.
るとか思わへんやん普通。あ、茶柱。
申し上げます。大阪より辺境将軍隊のご到着です。
Osaka, okay.
あのハゲ。
新山国家である武王が超大国の大和に大勝目前だなんて、大和はマジで落ちたね。マジで。
How are you drinking out of the
大
whole
和は
thing?
マジで落ちたね。
Also, I feel like I have to go back. I do. So again, we have these three
治癒
nations.
することとなる。
We have Sei, Bur, Yamato. Yamato left, Bur the pink one, and Sei is the yellow one. Okay? And this is on the left side, we started to have this little conflict. Now, he was saying Bur is the fledgling, the new one on the block. New combination of Bur is on the verge of a major victory over the superpower Yamato. Is that true? It felt like, from the explanation, that all three nations are similarly in strength. But maybe Yamato is the stronger one?
目前だなんて。
Okay.
大和はマジで落ちたね。
It may also be just a framing to say, hey, Yamato was the stronger one, they were like a Goliath, we are just David, and we are able to outmaneuver them and defeat them, therefore our victory is more important and more significant than any loss we could have.
マジで。
Someone is climbing the wall. I'm assuming it's the enemy force, because these guys are now all celebrating, drunk, they are not in fighting position. So if they get ambushed, is they going to get decimated? I'm just... So they just put some screws in their shoes and some chain around. I don't know what the chain is for. Maybe the chain is going to some hand, or maybe it's connected to other people. But the screws is interesting to use as like support, as spikes. Now the question is, can you have like 1,000 people with this equipment? Or do you just have a select, like a ninja unit or whatever? Because you only need to defeat the boss. Reminds me a little bit of Attack on Titan. I forgot his name. Pixie? Pixie? Was it not Pixie? I believe it was. You know who I mean. Baldy.
ここ登ってきた。あ、この橋。
Oh! Now the chain makes more sense. Because you have the chain on both boots and you use them similar to like a rope. Okay. You have more, I believe, more friction, so you don't slide as easily. Probably also around the hands. Smart.
45メートルありますけど。
Now this seems insane. I can see them climbing the pipe or whatever that is, but the last bit seems you need a lot of strength for that.
総大将は討ち取った。ほんで軍隊長2名、軍師1
It is interesting that they use revolver but don't have speed loading. No speed loading clips or whatever they are. Or speed loader.
名も死んだ。大和に下らば君ら一人一人に私有地を与えることを約束する。
I mean, enticing. Private land, how much? Like a square foot?
寝返ったうちの兵たちも不問に付す。
Oh.
不問に付す。どや。
大和軍総大将の奇襲が成功したことで
I mean, he just promised some land. He didn't say how much. And the ones that defected, he probably was like, hey, if you give up, we're not going to do anything to you yet. It makes sense, mostly because they are like an elite reconnaissance assassination unit. They removed the top brass, so there's no more strategy. If there's a fight going to break out, they are going to lose. They cannot fight against these 10,000 people. That is why they just try to get them to surrender. This way they don't have any losses, which makes it an even bigger defeat. Because now they can be like an elite unit of 100 people defeated 10,000 of Boo. Also, that is a big hit to the manpower of Boo, which I assume the yellow power is going to potentially use.
長篠の戦いはあっけなく終結した
At least I would use that.
彼が龍門光秀である
Oh, we need a cool guy. Okay. Bald, eye patch, cigar. Gotcha. And mid 40s, 50s, just to hammer home that he's so cool and so advanced in age. I don't know. It's always the same. There's our boy. Okay. Who are you? Okay. Skip. No more skip. Less skip. More skip? Less skip.
大
When is this? 16 of
大阪
something?
着いたでサキ
Okay.
死能館を退職し家を売り金と最低限の荷物だけで上阪した
So he decided to rise the ranks in his own country. Roger. Now it makes more sense to work for Boo because the military, the stuff at the beginning of the episode, the whole military conflict they had, at the start it looked like Boo would win, which would make it less likely for him to rise the ranks because it's just harder if your side is winning to do something to help your country or nation. But now that we saw them lose 10,000 soldiers, which is a huge blow, lose a general strategist, there's probably more need for new personnel. So it makes sense for him to be able to rise the ranks
あの
now.
高層ビルも一本の杭を設けるところから始めたようにわしもまたこの一歩から始めようと思う
We also heard last episode the guy that he most likely is going to go to has like 100 people or so every day supposedly knocking on his door, trying to work for him.
船長送っていただいてありがとうございました
龍門辺境将軍に会いに行く言うとったな
はい
今聞いたけど武王討伐で愛知に出征し
He's deployed to Aichi to subdue Boo, so he's not in Osaka. Okay, so we are in Yamato. Okay. I mistook the location from last time. We are in Yamato. Which again makes it a lot harder, I feel like, for him to be able to climb the ranks because his side is winning, essentially. And I'm assuming Aichi, I did not naturally, I'm assuming it's the old guy. Most likely, we saw the name, I did not even read the name, so. It's most likely the old guy, it makes sense.
出征してて大阪におらんらしいわ。とりあえず通天閣を目指せばいい。そこに辺境将軍の家がある。
Because a lot of people wanted to be part of this general unit or whatever. So he has a good name. People want to join him. So it has to be the guy. Which means that he has some unorthodox strategies. I feel like he would work well in his unit.
激安ホテル激安ホテル
Eh. I mean, they do have a dog. They do have a dog.
ホテルに泊まった方がええ。この町の夜はくっそ治安悪いからな。
お通天閣
Gunner of a Thousand at least starts with a single step. What he said last time.
いやーバリ立派じゃのう。これは昭和に建てられた2代目通天閣で初代はパリの凱旋門にエッフェル塔が乗っとるデザインだったんよな。このぼって地図描きたいの。
Right. Right, he did draw a map of his home. Hmm.
ホテルホテル
So it seems like it's more or less his hobby, drawing maps.
なんじゃこの人ら。まさか全員登竜門が目的で。
おい、今入ってきた七三地味よ。七三地味よ。
七三
つねちゃんさんに挨拶せ。
つねちゃんさん。
おいこら。なんで疑問系やねん。
いや
自分まさかつねちゃんさん知らへん言うやないやろな。
知らんです。
自分で慌ててない。
やめなよ。ほら彼怖がってるでしょ。
でしょ。東の言語。
私は浅間義経、登竜門を目指す者だ。
What do you mean Eastern dialect? Eastern Yamamoto or Yamato? Yamato. Or Eastern Japan? Like Buseichi was the other one, right?
登竜門を目指す者だ。彼らからはつねちゃんさんって呼ばれてる。で、君の名は？
三角青照です。
三角？知らないな。ママからも聞いたことないや。
ママ？
三角くんもしかして田舎者？そっか、田舎者は私のこと知らないか。
ミスった。泊まる宿完全にミスった。
浅間家。大和を建国から支えてきた名門だよ。私はその名門浅間家の宗家の嫡子だ。
I can't help that some names are blacked out. Are they dead or for some reason they are unable to be
その
there?
名門浅間家の宗家の嫡子だ。どう？すごいでしょ？
おい七さん。
Oh, I want a private room but need to be frugal. Is it that he has to more or less sleep here? Like in a communal room instead of having his own room? Because it's cheaper? I mean, it makes more sense this way, right?
おい七さん。すごいでしょってつねちゃんさんが聞いてんねん。
いや、わかりません。
お前何様やねん。スネちゃんさんがすごくねってか。
いや、
Classic straw man. I don't know. Oh, you are saying he's not impressive. Not what I said. I said I don't know.
いや、すごくないとは言っとらんですよ。その情報量だけじゃつねちゃんさんがどうすごいかがわしにはわからんと言っとるだけです。
何言うたね。今の情報だけでスネちゃんさんの優秀さは十分わかる。それわからんやと。失礼にも程があるんちゃうか。
さっきからその同調圧力何なんですか。
これだけの人数がスネちゃんさんすごいって尊敬したんだ。お前が間違ってんのは一目瞭然やないかい。
Last episode, when he was confronted with his wife, or the killer of his wife, he did play in his mind how he would have been able to take revenge. Now the question is that because he is good, or at least decent in fighting, or not? We know his wife was pretty good, and I can imagine that his wife was sparring with him, because I feel like that is the type of character she would be. So maybe this is where he picked up some of the stuff. Maybe this is also how they got together, that he was able to keep up with her. Because I'm wondering, would he be able to defeat these guys or not? Is there even a slight chance that we see him fight here?
その理屈通りであれば、ヤマトの管理でダントツで一番多い姓の平が常に正しいことになりますが、その認識でよろしいか。
平が正しいわけないやろ。私らは腐った平の世をぶっ潰すためにここにおんねん。バチから殴れや。
Tyra was an enemy, right? So essentially these are the enemies of your enemy. So friends?
やめな。三角くん、君ごっつええやん。
Too close. Also, I'm wondering, because this is seemingly like a communist sleep area, was this Misuna guy, was he here and he slowly but surely got everyone on his side, or did they all come with him? I feel like it's the first one. He just slowly but surely converted everyone to his side.
めちゃめちゃ関西弁やん。
せやせや、なんでかというとな、彼らが使われへん言語を使うたら、私がより頭よう打つんねや。ママ曰く、日本時代の知識階級の人たちは、庶民が分からへん異国語を混ぜて話して尊敬されてたみたいやしな。私は君みたいな人と出会いたくて、こんなごっつ安いホテルに泊まってたんや。君は彼らと違って少なくとも思考する能力はある。
So why would you believe someone like him would come to a cheap hotel?
やけど、一つ助言するなら、君は人に媚び売らへんことがイケてるみたいに思うとるんやろうけど、私が彼らを制止せえへんかったら、君のこの顔や体はどうなってたんやろな。ええか、私には夢がある。私の力で日本を再統一し、三国時代を終わらす。ほんで、この国のすべての民に尊敬される存在になる。私と親しくした方がええで。ちゅうことで、よろしくな、三角くん。田舎者は握手を知らんのか？
邪魔すんで。
Who is that?
邪魔するんやったら帰ってや。
So he's strong, I see. Why are you taking the arm?
ミスミ君どうすごいやろ。さあ認めろ、私の凄さを満たせ、私の承認欲求を。
I mean, at least we know what he wants.
ああ、すげえです。じゃあけど
帰るわけないやろ死ねみよほっまだんかこれ再現してくれ
スネちゃんさん、あんたはすげえ、めちゃめちゃすげえ。じゃけどリスペクトの上で一つ進言するなら、さっきのも含めていろいろと憶測が。
進言？君が私に？調子に乗ったらあかんで。
登竜門が叶ったらつねちゃんさんとわしは同期です。あんたみたいなすげえ同期にそのいい加減な憶測が理由で死なれたら困ります。なので進言させてください。
この田舎者、私の参謀にでもなったつもりが。まあ聞くだけ聞いてやる。
I mean, it doesn't hurt to listen to what someone considers advice. You can still heed it or not. But it doesn't cost you much to listen.
わかった。言いたいことあるんなら言え。
まず初めっからいろいろ憶測で話しすぎです。わしがこのホテルに来た時、ほら彼怖がってるでしょとおっしゃっとりましたが、断定なさるのでしたら人の表情を確認してからおっしゃるのが得策かと。次に日本時代の知識階級の人たちは異国語を混ぜて話して尊敬されてたとおっ
I feel like it would be the opposite, but sure.
しゃっとりましたが、わしが読んだ資料にはなんか難しい横文字使う人嫌だ、伝わらないから日本語で喋ってほしいという意見もございました。老子曰く真足らざればここに
If trust is lacking, how can one be trusted?
信ぜられざることはありすなわちズネちゃんさんが己に都合のいい意見のみを聞くお方であれば、全ての民に尊敬されるどころか恐れられたり侮蔑の対象となる可能性がございます。そして最後に、人に媚び売らへんことがイケてるみたいに思うとるんやろうけどとおっしゃっていましたが、皆目見当違いも甚だしい。わしの目的は平内務卿に処刑された最愛の妻との誓いを果たすことであります。媚び売らんことがイケてる？
He does not give a fuck. He's going to do anything and everything that is going to get him closer to his goal.
そんなしょうもねえ着飾った意識でここに来とりません。媚びなど売る必要性があるんならいくらでも売ったります。じゃけどこのクソみたいな同調圧力には殴られようが切られようが殺されようが絶対に屈しません。わしは本気でこの世を変えるためにここに来たんです。
Why are we going to his crotch?
何こいつ言った。寒くてブザまで滑稽の極みやで。なのになんやねんこの空間。私が負けたみたいになってるやん。媚びなど売る必要性があるんならいくらでも売ったるか。ほんまミスミ君の言う通りやわ。目覚まさせてくれてほんまありがとうな。なめんな。私だってそんくらいできる。ほんまに堪忍な。手大丈夫？ 本気で世の中を変える？でかい口叩くなよ。そもそも君に登竜門が叶うはずがないやろ。それを明日身に染みて知ることになるよ。
Maybe something is going on with the test. Maybe he's trying to sabotage him. Also, I feel like he would bow down to peer pressure if that is beneficial to his goal. Again, I feel like he's doing whatever he has to get closer to his goal.
明日絶対一緒に試験受けような。楽しみやわ。
How about we don't?
はい。
ほんま楽しみやわ。
So what is this test about? And is it a test regarding joining this general, or is this some other test?
龍門さん、今日は石川希望者来ますかね？
どうやろうな。
龍
I
門
guess it is a test for him. Joining him.
さんはほんま厳しいからな。今月も先月も一人も雇ってないし、ちょっと妥協すべきっすよ。
Nah.
妥協はできん。
Because of his very strange strategies and tactics, he probably needs people that he can trust that are going to go with his weird antics. You can't have someone who's old, or not old, but old-timey, who's like, oh, we need to fight, you know, a normal fight. We can't do dishonest stuff or sneaky stuff. He needs a certain caliber of
こ
soldier.
の国の未来のためにもな。さて、今日はどんなもんやろか。
Notebook and bag. So all of these want to join him? She did say that 100 people per day or so trying to get to join him.
大和の首都大阪にある
1,000, okay, never mind. A little bit more than 100.
辺境将軍龍門光秀の自宅には士官を望む者が日々1000人余り集まると噂されている。人はいつしかその採用試験に合格することを登竜門と呼ぶようになった。
I mean, business has to be blooming here, right? Oh, it's the temperature. Why are we displaying the temperature? Here 57, spring 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 16 degrees, so pretty warm already. Probably going to the 22s or so, midday. Which is a very nice temperature.
いよいよや、サキ。
ミスミ君、君のためにはっきり言うけどな。登竜門は諦めた方がええ。武術の心得がない君にかなうとはどうしても思えん。それに君かてこんなに長い間並ぶのは。
Again, how did he expect to kill the two people last episode? He had his whole imaginary circus, which we saw him dispatching the guy, the first guy, and then the boss with a sword. But now he seems like he's untrained. Something is not right. Either he's untrained, then his head cinema didn't make sense, or maybe he's not showing it, or he's only trained with a sword.
嫌やろ？
つねちゃんさん。
ん？
日本時代のテーマパークユニバとやらのピークの待ち時間は 今よりもはるかに長い時間じゃったそうです。ミニオンはちゃめちゃライド300。
So I assume he got these times and this info out of some magazine. Also, 2 hours wait time for a life-changing opportunity. I feel like it's not that long.
60分ハリウッドドリームザライドバックドロップ
What? Nearly 10 hours? Yeah, no, I'm good.
560分ザ・フライングダイナソー
Yeah, no, I'm
760
good.
分多くの人が本会を遂げるためにこんだけの時間並んだという歴史があります。わしも目的を果たすためなら並ぶ時間など毛頭気になりません。はあ、懐かしいの。こりゃさっきと一緒に博多に旅行した時のバリうまじゃった博多ラーメンの製法のメモじゃ。豚骨の下処理は1時間弱水につけて血抜きした後沸騰した湯に入れて。
気になる気になる。760分はさすがに気になるで。ミスに遭うてる。なんやねんこいつマジで。昨日の夜賊に殺された人を身元が割れたとしてもこの国では遺族に死は通告されないって理由で自ら埋葬したり、私の当術の凄さはもうええわと思うほど夜遅くまで熱弁してきたり、徹底して理性的な性格かと思いきやロマンチスト的な傾向もあるし。はあ、なんで私彼のこと分析してんねん。まさか私彼に興味持ち始めてる？ちゃうねん。そんなわけあるかいな。私は浅間家の宗家の着手やで。こんな芋臭い田舎者の七三寿命に興味持つわけ。
入門辺境将軍隊ご帰還や。
あれ？
おりませんね。
いや、あっちかい。
凱旋見たかった。
待て。
龍門変
Okay. Unlucky, I guess.
ここで待て。
龍門辺境将軍のもと
4 hours. Again, business has to be booming. Selling water, selling some snacks. I also feel like just renting out some board games or whatever, you would make a killing. Granted, most of these are probably broke, but still.
でわしの知識を生かし太平の世を築くために。
龍門辺境将軍の下で己の才能で天下を統一し、すべての民から尊敬。
Interesting way to make the border. I guess we are going into somewhat more cinematic cut.
されるために登竜門必ず成し遂げる。
Okay. So not what I expected. I expected like a mano a mano. Like 3 people come in, he's sitting there with like his right hand man or whatever, and they are like, yeah, no, bye. And we just continue. But no. I know, it is more or less like that. You get a bunch of people and they just write down stuff. Probably just ask some questions.
ほな始めようか。
あの人ら何書いてんねやろ。服装とか態度とかのチェックちゃう。やべえ、私シャツ出て。
I feel like the writing is just pressure. They're not even writing anything important. They're just instructed to just write down what they wear. Just don't stop writing, whatever you do.
軍師の核です。早速ですが本題に入らせていただきます。
Okay.
まず目下の採用試験は
You have a whole system.
一般兵を募るものではなく大和帝直轄部隊で である辺境将軍隊専属の属員を募るための試験です。
Okay. Okay. So he's just making sure, hey, this is not for foot soldier bullshit. This is for being of this borderland corps that is directly under command of the emperor. You understand? This is high position stuff, not foot soldier stuff. If you want to be foot soldier, go somewhere else. This is the upper league stuff.
そして念のためお伝えしておきますが、現在我々は通常の事務作業、出征中に溜まった業務をしている最中です。なんかチェックしてるように見えてはると思いますが、そんなんちゃいますので、皆さん気
You are lying. I don't trust you.
にせんでええですよ。
Because here's the why do it here? Why not do it somewhere else then?
礼儀、競技、年齢、性別、家柄、学歴、経験、協調性、死亡意欲、犯罪歴の有無、そんなもんはどうでもいい。
Interesting. So nothing matters. Okay, what doesn't matter?
求める人材の条件は一つ。私の膝を地面に着地させることができるもん。以上。制限時間は10分。ほな開始。
First off, interesting timer. Second, you just have to bring him to his knee. Does everyone get a chance, or is the whole group getting 10 minutes?
どうやって膝を地面に？まさか力技？
これが国家の将来を左右する採用試験か。
Brute force would have been my first instinct.
簡単すぎるでこの試験。龍門辺境将軍の膝を地面につけたらええ。
So he's going with brute force, and I feel like he's not going to succeed.
だけやろ。肩ぐーっと押さえ込んでひざまずかせたるわ。私が合格者第1号や。
I mean, of all the things, that is the most stupid one. Just kick him in the inside of the knees, you know? Then he's most likely going to kneel down, right? Also, there's no reason to be first. So I could just sit back, watch what happens.
いや、何この人。フィジカルえげつないやんけ。てか、ずっと仕事してはるし。登竜門。無理ちゃうこれ。
I thought maybe you could take his pen and throw it on the ground, but he probably can just pick it up. Without going on his knee.
この3ヶ月、辺境将軍隊に関する資料を読み漁った。この試験に関する記述もあったが、内容は毎度異なり、予測や対策は不可能。唯一の共通点は、徹底した能力主義による人事評価であることのみ。
A lot of different tests, it seems like. One was Shank and Pong, another one was cooking. Now we have some music. Lots of different ways.
こっけこっけ。君らは所詮同契約。三角君、 ちゃんと見とけよ私の凄さを。
Another, I'm assuming this is inside the tower. Another idea I had was just bring the whole tower down. But I feel like they can't do that. Mostly because they don't have superpowers to do that.
ほんで悟れ己の無力さを。
さてさて、今回もこんなもんかな。限られた短い時間で思考して行動すべきとこをただただ前習いで挑む子らばっかり。帰還直後で平然と対応してはる龍門さんも異常やけど、あとあの二人ずーっと立ってるだけやけど、もう諦めてんのか、それともなんか策が。ん
I don't know why, but I thought he would destroy his bait or so his pants would fall down. How that is going to get him on his knee, I don't know. But for some reason that came to mind.
試験終了まで残り4分。
その足もらいますわ。
I mean, yeah, then his knees would be on the ground. He's not wrong. I do not like that we did not see the conclusion, though. All this to take revenge, which valid. Also, the ending is not that long. Interesting. Nah, long enough. Okay. So he's trying to remove his legs, so his knees are on the ground. Okay, it's most likely not going to work because the idea is that he doesn't want them to solve this problem with brute force alone. He wants something else, and it also seems like they're not necessarily searching for someone who can bring him to his knee. They're searching for people who can provide ideas that are not that straightforward. Because straightforward, a lot of people can think that way. It's the ones that, as he was describing, think outside the box. Like destroying the tower, which would bring him to his knee most likely. Something along those lines. Now, it does have to be feasible, which destroying the tower is not. I'm very interested on how our guy is going to solve that. Because he does not seem like he is going to try to do it in a straightforward way with strength. He probably has a different idea. I'm very interested to see how he's going to think outside the box.